Good morning. I've returned from the mountain, and it is one of the excruciatingly rare mornings that there is cloud cover over the special Mercury that I live on in Southern California, where we're not close enough to the ocean to have clouds, evidently. So we have some onshore cover today, which is amazing. And I have leaves that I brought back from the mountain that we're going to use to continue our shibori dyed fabric with leaf prints on top. And we're going to combo that up with another experiment. But here we are. It's actually nice lighting in my kitchen that doesn't make me want to die. Still very allergic to whatever I got into on the mountain, working on that. Anyway, let's try and make some leaf prints for the first time in a few months because everything's still sitting on my counter and I'd like to use that up now. All right, so if you recall, we did this quite some time ago, so it's more of a recall to me since you're going to watch a video where I'm not confused. Anyway, we'll pretend that I didn't say that. This is our shibori dyed silk, and this is our shibori dyed cotton. We did this in faux indigo. We just used RIT dye to see if it would be non-reactive to a further natural process. Because I am not experienced enough to know if I can make indigo that is impervious to any future things I do to it, so I decided to take this risk first. What we're going to do with these is give them a good soak in a nice, like 2 or 3% iron bath, and then we're going to layer some oak leaves. This one I will put plastic on because I want to try to get one print in each hole. This one I'm going to let be wacky, I think, and let it just freely overlap itself. That will also help me get it to fit onto the roller, since this is a very large piece of fabric. Anyway, we will try that. Here's our leaves. Very beautiful and oaky. Very exciting. All right, so I'm going to get these rolled up and we'll start the pot boiling, and then I think we'll be in business. I'm trying to remember all the steps in case I forget anything. Okay, let's do it. All right, first of the shibori dyed leaf printing experiments. We have oak leaves in each little square on the silk here, which has been soaked in the iron, like rust bath. It's about 2%, I would say. Anyway, these we're going to roll up with plastic so that they don't intrude upon each other. And the other one we will do without plastic to let it go chaos and see what happens. Okay, for our second leaf printing over shibori, this is just a cotton napkin. I folded it in thirds. There's a chaotic amount of leaves inside. There's just leaves on top, and we're going to fold the top over and let it ride. We're doing some chaos today and seeing what happens. Excuse me, seeing what happens. Okay, you might see this clip in several of our videos because we're doing this experiment for like 3 different things at once. Anyway, there goes our oak leaf stuff. A bunch of them. And there they go. See you in 90 minutes. Bye! Okay, we already got out another experiment's items, but now we can pull out our prints onto shibori. And I think I'm seeing some reaction in there that looks kind of green. So we just have to let these cool off until they're less than the surface of the sun. Oop, definitely some reactions in there. That's fun. Why'd you turn purple? Okay, so we may have had some interesting reactions on the cotton, as it turns out. That scares me a little. And this is just another one of from another experiment. All right, these will cool off until they're not dangerous, and we will come back. Okay, here's our unwashed, still wet, so we don't know that it will stay this cool looking. Iron dye printing over top of shibori printed fabric. Now, this is on cotton. This cotton was mordanted originally before I did the faux indigo on it. Now, what I find interesting is that there seems to have been... Now, I didn't rinse these out probably well enough because the other piece of this was still shedding blue like you would not believe when I rinsed it out. Anyway... so there might have been just some like color pooling, but why it turned purple, couldn't tell you. We got some really great leaf prints on here. And I will say this, on tannin-rich leaves on cotton before, we've gotten this kind of crazy purpley blue before from other plants that are really tannin-rich. We've gotten it off of the forest pansy redbud from my dad. But I love how these are like kind of secretive little leaf prints. Like you really have to look for them. And then they are just as cool kind of on the other side because those got their own printings on them. So everywhere you look is kind of a cool design. So I really like that, and I wish I could tell you I knew why that indigo turned purple, and in some places green, and in many places a cool, weird, inky purple. So that's an interaction we might want to explore later, I guess. Weird. All right, and then in the other one, we got perfect prints, just like we had hoped. The silk is obviously very dependent upon the leaf facing downward, and I think the only reason we didn't get darker or more intense prints is because this one has had all of its mordant other than iron washed off already because it's been dyed once. I washed it. I could have remordanted it. That's another experiment we can do in the future in remordanting a shibori dyed piece and then leaf printing on it. We'd probably get a better result. But I love this, and I think it will make a really kind of cool wall hanging. It's very spooky in a good way. All right, you will see these when they are dry. And if you didn't get to see me unwrap them, then I'm sorry that my attempted camera rig failed. I'm not a professional, and half of my equipment is with a friend. So we will return to normally scheduled filming on Friday. But look at how cool! So fun. Just want everyone to know that between these and the acorns boiling in a pot, it smells like a saddle shop in here. Like a leather tannery, if you will. Not shocking, I suppose, but the house smells strongly of oak-tanned leather. Familiar, but weird. All right, before the last of our good natural lighting falls, I wanted to show you the results of our printing with eco printing techniques over top of already shibori dyed with RIT dye in fake indigo experiment. It went well. So on cotton continues to shock me with its ability to do the iron tannin reaction because we get these amazing, very crisp leaf prints in these beautiful rich browns, which I assume is what we will get out of the acorn dye that we have going. Tune in for the next experiment because that's coming up tomorrow. So I know it's reacting beautifully to that. Why it turned everything else purple and made it bleed everywhere, I wish I could tell you, because this started out very much blue and light blue, and now it is purple and leaf attack. I don't even know that it's good. It's nuts. So for that reason, we did create chaos, and good job for us on that. As far as successful ones, this worked great. This is our beautiful silken wall. I still don't know if I'm saying that right. Please don't at me if I'm not. Just tell me how to say it properly and I will. This, I framed like one little leaf on each shibori pattern, and I think that came out great. I think that it would have come out better if I had remordanted it. So we might try that again and remordant something and see if it prints the leaves better. Because we certainly got much darker prints off of the other ones, which are in the next experiment, I think. Filming these completely out of order and only chaotically, as the only way I know how to do this. So I think it's the next experiment that has all of my oak leaves, and you'll see what I mean about how much darker those got compared to this, and that's on the same silk. So I'm pretty confident that that's a result of not being remordanted. However, we learned a lot from this experiment, and I plan to do a lot more trying to leaf print into shibori in the future. If I've earned your like or subscribe, I would be so grateful if you'd hit that button, or come visit me on Patreon, where you can get access to live updates of me doing this as it happens. You get to join the group chat and hear me make these mistakes live and all the behind the scenes nonsense for creating such things as this purple and leaf monstrosity. We have a lot of fun over there. Check out my Patreon. Check out any of the other ways if you would like to hang out with me. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!